Hi, welcome to my channel, Brett in Italy. I am Brett and we are in Italy. Today I'm in a special place. Behind me is the entrance to the grotto of St. Michael the Archangel. The town is called Monte Sant'Angelo. I'm going to show you here the entranceway behind me. And we're going to go down into the actual grotto in just a few moments, but I'll just tell you a little bit about it to start off with. This is a place dedicated to St. Michael the Archangel, not just dedicated to St. Michael, but this is a place where St. Michael appeared in the early centuries of Christianity, the late Roman period. And the history behind it is that, again, when we do pilgrimage, we have to take all this away. None of the stuff was here. This would have been just the outdoors up on the side of a mountain. And down here there was a grotto. Now the grotto has been largely removed, at least the stone around it, and a chapel has been placed on top of it. But the story is this, that in, I believe it was the 5th century AD, there was a herdsman and he had a herd of bulls. One of the bulls got into a grotto and he was concerned for it. So he wanted to go over and retrieve the bull. It's one of the best bulls of the herds, but he's afraid that if he got too close, the bull might get startled and fall into this, down into the pit. So to sort of startle him without scaring him too much, he shot an arrow towards the bull in his direction. Maybe he was going to try and hit the ground and the bull would come back to him. So he shot the arrow towards the bull and it went into the grotto and actually turned around, came back and hit him and slightly wounded him. So he was startled by it. He went towards the grotto and then he saw St. Michael, this herdsman, a shepherd. So he went to the bishop of Siponto, which was the Diocese of Sea in this point, told him what had happened. The bishop of Siponto came to this grotto and observed or witnessed an apparition of St. Michael himself. St. Michael told the bishop to make this place a sanctuary, make this a holy place, but he said do not consecrate it because this place will be consecrated with angelic hands. And the bishop did that. He made this into a sanctuary, and this became an important pilgrimage destination, or actually more of a departing point for pilgrims going to the Holy Land, coming back from the Holy Land during the time of the Crusades, and actual crusaders going and coming back. So they would come here on the way down to the port cities of Brindisi or Bari, which are further south of here. We're not far from Padre Pio and San Giovanni Rotondo. We're in a place called the Gargano mountain range, and we're right on the Adriatic Sea. From the Adriatic, pilgrims and crusaders would go to the port cities of Bari, Brindisi, sail across the sea to Greece or Turkey, and then from then continue on the land route towards the Holy Land. But this was an important place for asking for protection, and there's some engravings, if you will, of handprints, which I'll show you them as we go down into the towards the sanctuary in just a few moments. And the pilgrims would put one hand on the wall, trace the outline of their hands on the way out, and then when they would come back for kind of as a memory that they made it back, they would put their other hand next to it. So unfortunately here you'll see many places where there's just one hand and not two because the pilgrims never came back or the crusaders never came back. But this is a very holy place, apart from the crusaders, apart from the history, apart from the culture. This is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Apart from that, it's a spiritually powerful place because we have the presence of St. Michael. I'm going to step back just a little bit into the shade because the sun is bothering my eyes. But St. Michael, I'm not sure how much you know about him, but St. Michael is one of the 3 archangels, St. Michael, St. Gabriel, St. Raphael. He's also known as a warrior saint, and he's a saint, warrior angel. He's an angel, a holy angel. Saint means holy, whom exorcists frequently invoke his name when they're liberating people possessed or harassed by demons. And the demons tend to flee when they hear the name Michael. Michael's mentioned in Scripture several times, and his name's not actually a name. His name is a question, and it would be pronounced Michael in Hebrew, and Michael in Hebrew means who is like God. So he would say that when he would go forth. He would say, who is like God? Who is like God? Who is like God? This very powerful angel. Michael, Michael, Michael. Because it was really a response to Satan. And Satan, when he turned away from God, he did so because he wanted to be like God. He had the sin of pride, and he had a jealousy. He wanted to be like God, and he was jealous that he was not like God. So Satan turned away from God because he wanted to be like God. So Michael was very humble, even though he had all these these strong powers, these authorities. He was responding to Satan. So he said, "Who is like God? Who is like God?" And he would go about saying that. So he's a response to the turning away from God, which, according to tradition, it's believed that at the creation of the angelic world, God gave the angels, the spirits, a choice, because they were created to be good and to be holy, but he gave them a moment in which they could choose to follow God and follow God's will, or to turn away and follow their own will. And it's believed that roughly 1/3 of the angels turned away from God, and they are demons today. And if you're ever afraid of demons and devils, don't worry about it, because for every demon there are 2 good holy angels. So they're outnumbered 2 to 1, and we have the holy angel Saint Michael. So in just a moment we'll go down into the staircase, and we'll descend down into the sanctuary where Saint Michael appeared. And also there's a place where St. Francis, when he came here and visited this holy shrine in his life, I think it was 1221, 1222, he did not feel worthy enough to enter into this grotto where St. Michael appeared, and he only got up just to the entrance to the cave, and he spent time in prayer there. And there's a little chapel kind of commemorating that space. So on our way down, I will show you that place, and then we will go into the sanctuary itself. If they allow me to film, we'll do that. If not, I'll take some photographs, and I'll show you the grotto. And then also behind it, there's a site on the floor where the angels believed to have sort of touched the ground, and there's some footprints kind of in there. So I'll show you that. All right, so these are the steps leading down into the sanctuary, and there's an allusion to Jacob's ladder with these, in Scripture, where it talks about seeing the angels coming up and down the staircase, the stairwell to heaven. And that's what the angels do. They go up to God and give praise, and then they come down to earth and they work with us, and they're present to us. And there's a chaplet called the Chaplet of St. Michael, which is a very powerful way of praying, but it's a chaplet similar to, get some more light in here, similar to the rosary, but it's got 3 beads and then 1 bead, and there's 9 of them. So there's 9 choirs of angels, and you start off with the seraphim and then the cherubim, go all the way down the choirs of angels, all the way down to the angels. The lower you get, the more the angels are involved in human affairs. Angels and archangels are with us. The seraphim and cherubim are generally closer to, they are closer to heaven, closer to God, and they don't come down in human affairs very often, but sometimes they do. So this is the entrance into almost to the grotto. I want to show you some of these handprints I was telling you about. Let me see if I can find one. Here's one right here. So this is a handprint here. Somebody put their right hand here, kind of carved it in there, and generally they have the left hands also. Here's another right hand here. And these are all graffiti markings from back in the Middle Ages. Some of them are probably from 10 years ago, but here's some hands here as well. But these are all markings from centuries ago. Actually, here's a footprint. So these are all pilgrims who had come in here and left their mark, crusaders that were going to the Holy Land and hopefully coming back. But you do see, there's another hand. This is a left hand here. There's a left hand here. There's another left hand here. So this is called the Door of the Bull. So this is where the bull, or commemorates when the bull was coming into the grotto. So I'm going to put this on pause. I'm going to go in, and then we'll go into the sanctuary itself, to the grotto itself, which is just right up here. Right, we're inside the sanctuary now. This is as far as St. Francis went. He didn't feel worthy to go beyond it. Inside here, you can't see with the reflection, but there's a Tau cross there. And here's an icon of St. Francis and St. Lucy. All right, this is the grotto, St. Michael. There's a traditional statue of St. Michael with the Latin question, quis ut Deus, means who is like God, which is what Michael means, Michael. And back behind here is where it's believed the angel was standing or was appearing. And this space behind this glass encasement. And here's the grotto from the rear of the cave. Well, thank you for accompanying me down into the grotto of St. Michael the Archangel. And just remember, sort of one last final thought, that the angels are protectors, and God allows the angels to work with us. He allows the angels to accompany us, to protect us, to help us. Every one of us has a guardian angel. The fathers of the church, the great theologians, Thomas of Aquinas, Augustine, are not in agreement on when we're assigned an angel, but they are all in agreement that we have a guardian angel. So some believe we are assigned an angel at conception, some believe we're assigned at birth, some believe at baptism, but they're all in agreement we have a guardian angel. So maybe it seems a little strange that we have guardian angels, but let me just ask you this. I would just suggest you ask your guardian angel who he is or she, that they don't have gender, who they are. And during communion in particular, when you go up to receive communion the next time, ask God to reveal to you who your angel is. And then start asking your angels to be present, to be more present to you, to make the angel known, because they have lots of powers and they do love us very much. Padre Pio used to say that if we don't call on our guardian angel, his wings will rust, meaning that they're there, they're with us, they want to be closer to us. So just ask God about your guardian angel. And then if you're ever in a situation that's very difficult, call on St. Michael, because he's the archangel. He's the powerful angel. He's the angel of spiritual warfare, and he will do battle for you. So if you like what I'm doing, click subscribe, click like, and I appreciate you following me.